this is Get Your Rock Out with another great interview. I'm here with Snake, the legendary frontman of Voivod. So, how's the tour going?
Well, this is the second date. We played Bristol yesterday. It was great, small place, but packed with fans, and went pretty good. It was our first time in Bristol. Didn't know what to expect, but it was awesome.
Oh, Sunday. All right, now you have a new album due out next year. How's it coming along?
It's on its way. It's coming out January 2013. We've been working quite a lot on it for the last year. Took a while. We were recording in a studio up north in Quebec during last winter, so the whole process took a long time. But I think it's something that we're really proud of, because with the new lineup with Blackie and Chewy, it's the first album without Piggy, without any material from Piggy. So people expect a lot from it, and people are curious about it, how it's gonna sound, and I can tell that it's gonna be a real Voivod, the pure tradition of what Voivod is known for. Piggy, Chewy has a great talent to not copying. He's more like impersonal. How do you say it? He takes what Piggy is all about and he makes it on his own, and it's great. That was the main question, how we would pull out composing, playing stuff. Playing Piggy stuff is one thing, but composing new songs is a different thing. But he managed pretty well that task, and so it's something that we're really proud of, and I hope the fans gonna dig it.
Right. I was going to ask what has motivated you to continue after such a tragic loss in the band. Is having a guitarist, a new guitarist, like you've said, is that a way of re-energizing the band?
Yeah, of course. We went through a lot of drama, while Piggy, took a while when he was sick, and then he died, and the funeral, and then, the whole process of, mourning the guy and reconstruct pieces by pieces what we had left. And we managed to, release stuff that Piggy had worked on. That was one thing that we wanted to do first, try to give to the people everything that Piggy had done, and so that was 14 and Infini. And then, when circumstances, I guess, happened, that we got in touch with Blackie back, especially when the funeral happened. I think that's when the things sort of like came back to us. Blackie came to us, and we were. He actually did a show with Chewy as a kind of memorial show for Piggy. So they put together some Voivod songs, and they did a special show for Piggy, and it sounded like quite surprisingly like Piggy, and we were kind of, me and Michelle were kind of, who's that guy? He's playing very well, the special chords like Piggy was doing, the tones and stuff, and it happened that Chewy is a Voivod fan from the beginning. He learned how to play on Voivod. Voivod was his first show. when he was 13 years old. When he saw us play when he was young, the next thing he did was buy a guitar and try to play Voivod. So it's kind of weird in the sense that that guy is now playing, he's wearing his Piggy shoes now, and he's such a great dude. He's such, he's got the same kind of personality that Piggy has somehow, and so thank God. But I think Piggy sent him from heaven. I don't know.
This is, I mean, you guys are one of the most inventive and creative. What's the word I'm searching for here? You're experimental as well. So the dichotomy of you guys, trying to move on and trying to live after Piggy, and this guy fulfilling his lifelong dream of appearing on a Voivod album, that dichotomy, together with the way you guys play anyway, it sounds like this is going to be the most raw and intense Voivod album to date.
Well, it has a lot of meaning for us. That's why we put a lot of effort doing it. And there's something about this new record that's kind of mystic, It's
that is a word I've heard quite a lot when talking about Voivod.
Yeah, but especially this record is something that I can't really point exactly what it is, but it's sort of like a reviving Voivod, from everything we went through was pretty bad at a certain point, and so it's all against all odds, and against adversity, and against no matter what happened, the circumstances, we managed to keep going and deliver a new Voivod album. So it's quite amazing that it's just a proof that when you want something and you fight for it and you work for it, anything can happen. It's just never say never. Because when Piggy died, we didn't see any future for us. I mean, he was the maestro of the band. So you lose your leader somehow, and it's like, what's the point of continuing this? But after a while of, after a couple of, months of mourning, the first thing that came to my mind is that if we don't do anything, if we don't play Piggies, if we don't, he's gonna die with the music. And the only thing that we can do is put this band back together with people and continue to make it alive, and so the music will stay alive, and that's the bottom line. And but as it went, Chewy showed up, Blackie, a new lineup. We since 2008 been touring, and then we got this new record, Target Earth, that I'm really proud of, and can't wait till it's out.
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, as a thrash fan, this is a great thing for me. It's really cool to be interviewing someone who was a part of the thrash explosion of 1986. What was it like playing that kind of music at that time? And where do you think that your contribution to the 1986 album craze, your raw, I may have mispronounced that, I don't know, but where do you think that album stands amongst all the great standout thrash metal albums that were released in that particular year?
Well, back in the days, people were doing crazy stuff. It's just like it was all over the place. Slayer had their own sound, and Metallica back then, and Anthrax, and everything was just exploding. And we're kind of different because we're from Canada. I don't know if it makes a difference somehow, but we're from north, in the woods, far out, you know. And so I guess we had we had to fight more to be part of this wave of of thrash metal or whatever. And we tried to create our own sound and our own bubble, of identity, and that's why I think we came out with. But every album was different. I think from the first to the second and to the third, there's an evolution that goes with it. Roar was like the kind of the middle between our first record and the third record. It was just like the transition from being, punk, trash, whatever, to progressive metal. It was just in the middle of it, and the sound was really trashy, and but people just, I think people digged it for that. It's just like it was a mixture of both. When I look back to it, but back then we didn't think of anything. We were just like we were just creating as we were obviously we were looking at the other band and saying, oh, they're doing that kind of thing, they're doing that kind of thing, but us is different. It's just sounds like we sound like ripping headaches and thrashing rage and stuff like that, heavy drums and chords, riff that rip you up, it's just a transition. When you look at it now, it's a transition from album to album, but back then we were just like raging into it and
Alright, well, after all these years and still rocking hard, and now the band's gone through a re-evolution, what is Voivod's legacy? Or is it too soon to be asking that?
Well, we're gonna, in the next January, we're gonna release that record, and it's gonna be 30 years. So, 30 years of metal. So I think we are part of this metal scene. I don't know what's gonna be the legacy of it, but I think we got respect from our peers and people in the business, and I think people respect us for many aspects of it, longevity, toughness, and creativity as well. Some people were saying back in the days that we're the most avant-garde or that type of things, but the main thing is just like, for me, for me, Voivod means that we're not gonna die yet. We're gonna keep going until it's over. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we're definitely survivors, and definitely a band that don't give up. And even though there was a period of up and downs in our career, that's the main goal, I think, and that's the main thing people will remember when we'll be gone for real.
Alright, well, thank you very much, man, and I hope you kill tonight. It's going to be an awesome show.
Yeah, we're in Manchester. Yeah.